What's up, everyone? Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the BH Cosmetics Galaxy Chic palette. This is an 18-pan baked shadow palette that looks like this, and a lot of them look like little planets, which is pretty cute. So let's talk about this. This was $10 on the B&H website. Normally, I believe it retails for $12, but they have sales all the time. And I forget exactly how I became aware of this palette because this is the first thing I've ever ordered from B&H, but somehow I found it. And of course, then I wanted to read all the reviews. And I get very suspicious whenever a product has all of these crazy 5-star reviews. I was wondering if maybe there was a little bit of paid reviewing going on. Word to the wise, there are some companies that will do this. They will go onto crowdsourcing websites like Mechanical Turk, and they will pay people like 50 cents or whatever to go and leave a positive review. I am not saying B&H did this. I'm saying some companies do. So anyway, I was a little bit suspicious, so I thought, well, before I spend money on it, I'm going to go try to find some independent reviews and swatches. And I did that, and the reviews were all fairly positive, so I thought, well, it's on sale. Why not? And I sure am glad that I did, because this thing is fun, and I have tons of swatches and inserts for you guys so you can really see what each of the shadows looks like. Let's get right into it. The total weight of this palette is 1.24 ounces. Now, when you look at it head on, it actually looks like you're getting more product than you are, because the pans are not full. You know, normally when you buy a baked shadow, it'll be like a half globe and you'll be able to see the product over the top. These are much smaller than that, but that's okay because they're super pigmented. So you're not going to be using a ton of these. You know, it's not like most of these are your everyday neutrals. So this is more of a special occasion type of palette. So really, I don't have a problem with it. And for $10, I seriously can't complain. If you read reviews of any baked shadow product and the reviews are kind of like, oh, they're not pigmented, they're patchy, blah, blah, the chances are that the person who left the review did not know that it's usually best to apply baked products wet. And if you have fallen into that mistake, don't feel bad, because most products that are sold baked, they don't tell you that. Like, even on the back of this one says wet or dry formula. I've really got to say, with the exception of a couple colors in here, I really would recommend that you apply them wet. And all the swatches that you are going to see were done on bare skin with a wet brush. So let's take a look at this thing. It's just cool to look at. And I have found that my favorite shades in here are Sun is amazing. Sun is this amazing kind of warm, goldeny coral kind of color. Then let's just go in order, and actually we'll talk about all of them. Then we have Jupiter, which is like a light pinkish red. It's very metallic. Then you have Prometheus and Aphrodite, which are very, very gorgeous reddish mauve shades. And then we have Milky Way and Cosmic, and these two are quite similar, although Cosmic is more of a lilac bluish cast, whereas Milky Way is more purple. Then we go down to the second row and we see Mercury, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous, very foily, metallic beige gold. Venus is a true orange. It's highly pigmented. This is one of the shades you could get away with using dry, probably, although wet, of course, it appears more potent. And then we have Meteor and Comet, which are fairly similar, although Comet is slightly greener than Meteor. Earth is beautiful. Earth really shocked me. Earth is kind of, it's got a blue-green duochrome kind of thing going on. It's very striking. And then Neptune is a darker blue. It sort of reminds me of MAC's Deep Truth a little bit. Then down here in the bottom row, this is my favorite row of shadows. Mercury is this gorgeous bronze. And then you have Mars, which is a deeper reddish bronze. It kind of reminds me of MAC's Sun Pepper Pigment, actually. Asteroid, I think, is my favorite in the whole palette because it's kind of a duochrome between like a russet brown and a blue. Electra is an extremely vibrant frosty blue. And then we have Moon and Pluto, which are quite similar. Pluto is slightly darker, but they're kind of a mauve brown with a blue interference duochrome to them. They're very unique shades. So in this palette, you're getting quite a few colors that are not available in every single palette, particularly the duochromes. So if you are cool with applying shadows wet, this is absolutely a fun and fabulous choice. I find that when you apply these wet, they are very pigmented, they're very blendable, and they really just have a very silky smooth appearance on the skin. The shadows that I had some issues with streakiness with include Jupiter, which I felt was a little bit hard to kind of get an even swatch, and Venus, the orange one, was just also a little bit streaky, and Neptune, the dark blue. For some reason, I find that a lot of dark blue shadows, I have a difficult time blending them, and granted, I wasn't wearing a primer on my hand when I did the swatch, but I find even on my eyes that I can have trouble with blue, so it's one of the reasons why I don't do very many blue looks, is because suddenly I feel as if it's like I never applied makeup before. So anyway, I've actually been practicing some blue looks to try to get better at them, because for some reason there's something about blue and me, we just don't get along. This is a good, solid palette for the price. If you're unable to get it at the $10 sale price point, you can still buy it for the regular price, which I believe is $12. Again, you are getting 18 shadows, so that's under $1 a shadow. So you really can't go wrong. Like with any big palette, you're probably not going to use every shade that's in here, but I'm okay with that. You know, when I buy a palette, I'm not expecting to be able to do tons of looks restricted to the palette, you know, not going to any other eyeshadows for any colors at all. With this palette, I don't think that's realistic to say, well, I'm just going to use this palette, because a lot of the shadows, they are shimmery, they are frosty, some of them do have glitter. You don't have a lot of matte shades, a lot of transition shades in there. That's fine. I personally don't have a problem with that. I don't think that's the point of this palette. It's very easy to just come up with a palette of neutrals. You know, I love my Jessie's Girl Backstage palette. I also have a ton of other neutral shadows from brands from drugstore all the way up to high-end. Neutrals are easy to find. These are much more unique shades. They're awesome, awesome, awesome for special occasions, or just whenever you want to have a bright, unusual pop of color to your lids. So let's give you one last look at the shadows and the packaging too. Let's chat about the packaging. It's a cute little compact, it's magnetic, and thank the Lord it has a nice big mirror. I really hate it when you buy a palette and there's no mirror. It's like, why? So they get an A+ on the packaging for sure. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this and the swatches, and I will look forward to seeing you guys in my next video, which will probably be coming out tomorrow. And thank you for spending your time with me. Please subscribe. I would love to have you on board, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!